Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto Was a Vampire. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also stay in tune because after this I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Had the Unknown Sharingan. And over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting What If Naruto returned different after his training trip. So stay in tune for that. And also, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Had Multiple People Sealed Inside of Him. So stay in tune for that as well, guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and if you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's start this new episode. Begin the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last spot we left off, Naruto faced off against Orochimaru in the Forest of Death, as Eva was the one that sent Orochimaru to test Naruto to see how strong he has gotten, and Eva is also coming back to Konoha. Orochimaru was shocked beyond anything he could ever believe, as he saw the power of a vampire, the strength and the speed, and the raw power that it gave the person enhanced them by every step. And given that Naruto has a 9-tailed chakra flowing through him, and his body is enhanced to another level, Orochimaru was no match for him. In the end, Orochimaru used a snake to teleport out of there, as he reappeared a distance away with the dead snake as he came out of his head, giving that Naruto cut off the snake's body before he left in a poof. As Orochimaru knew that he has to use the Edo Tensei to take down that boy, probably knock him out or something, so he can examine on him and find out the true secret behind being a vampire. Seeing that Orochimaru got away, Naruto went into a bloodlust state as he started dash through the forest. He came upon the unlucky Sound team as Naruto ripped each of them apart and feed on Kin's blood, killing her. As he then went to sleep in the middle of the forest, Team Hinata then found him as Hinata asked him if he was okay, as Naruto told her he was fine and headed off. As he found Sasuke and Sakura, Sasuke woke up at the tower as Kakashi was there to suppress the curse mark, so everything was fine. The preliminaries then begin as Sasuke faced off against Kabuta's teammate, as Sasuke quickly won that match, given that he can use his chakra. The next match was Neji versus Hinata, as Hinata was one of the people in the village that Naruto truly see as a friend. He respected her beyond anything. She always smiled at him, even though the other people of the village hated him, and she always tried to talk to him when he was younger, even though her caretakers told her to get away from the demon, and he was happy for that. So after seeing how Neji beat her down, he made a promise to Neji that he will kill him, as Neji was taken aback by Naruto's tone. It sent shivers down his spine as he didn't know why he was so scared. The board then went through name again, as it was now Naruto versus Karu. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself, so let's begin this new episode. Everyone was waiting for the match to begin. As Karu was looking at Naruto, Genma had said begin a while ago, but neither of them moved. As a tick mark came on Karu's forehead. "Stop looking at me like that," she said. "Looking at you like what?" Naruto asked. "That smug look on your face," she said to him. "Smug look? I don't get it," Naruto said. As she pulled her sword. "You really think that I would like a person like you?" she said. "Well, seeing that you're always getting in my way, and always trying to find an opportunity to talk to me, like right now. You brought up that I have a smug face, just because you want to talk to me. You damn arrogant bastard," said Karu, as she rushed forward, as Naruto jumped back as she swiped right through the ear. It seems like she's not holding anything back, Naruto thought, as she dashed forward and started to swipe from left to right, trying to cut him down. As Naruto jumped back with a smirk on his face. Seems like I really pissed you off, he said to her. Get back here, she said as she swiped her sword at him, as Naruto kept on dodging. He's not doing anything, said Yugito. He's just dodging. Does he really think he can defeat me? He might be strong, but I am one of the strongest genin in Kumo. I'm even stronger than some of the chonins, and when I use a Nibi power, I can even keep up with a jonin, she said to herself. Does this boy really think he can beat me? As she looked at Naruto with a smirk on her face. If he makes it to the final, I will destroy him, she thought. That is if Karu doesn't beat him already. Yugito, said Amoy. Huh? What is it? Said Yugito. Something is strange about that Naruto fellow. What do you mean? Asked Yugito. Just look at the way he dodged. He seemed to just be playing with her, even though she's really serious and trying to cut him down. Yeah, you're right, Yugito said. He seems like he's really holding back. But Karu is holding back as well. Well, we would just have to see. Back in the arena, Naruto dodged another swipe from her. Is that all you got? Naruto said, as another tick mark came on her forehead. She went through hand sign as her sword started to blaze with fire around it. Back up in the stands, Kakashi-sensei, said Sakura. What's that? Well, Sakura, it looked like she can manipulate her fire around her blade. Looks like she has a strong affinity for fire. Let's see how Naruto countered this. As Karu rushed forward, as Naruto stood there without moving, as he waited until she was 5 feet away from him, as she leaped up into the air, as he looked up. Dynamic slice, she said, as she brought down her blade, as Naruto jumped back as her blade slashed right into the ground, creating a lot of dust and debris around the area, as everyone squinted their eyes to look. They then saw something flying out of the smoke and slam into the wall with great force. When they looked over, it was Karu, as she picked herself out of the wall. Damn you, she said, as Naruto stepped out of the smoke, not even a scratch on him, as he was looking at her. You were too slow, he said to her, as she grabbed her sword tight and thrust forward, as she tried to slice Naruto all over his body, but he kept on dodging each of her strikes. Enough of this, said Naruto, you're just wasting my time, as he grabbed her wrist with incredible speed, as he elbowed her right in the stomach, as she stepped back as the wind was knocked right out of her. He then jumped up in mid-air, as he delivered a solid roundhouse kick that sent her flying. Ouch, that must hurt, said Sakura, as Karu hit the wall with great force. As the proctor was about to call the match, but he saw Karu picked up back herself, as she grabbed her sword, which was back to normal. You think I'm gonna let you win that easily? She said, as she started to go through hand sign. Is she really going to do that? Amoy said. It looks like, said Yugito. What is she going to do? Said Sakura as she heard the both of them talking. She's going to perform one of her powerfulest techniques, said Amoy. Huh, I'm sorry, but your friend is toast. As Sakura looked down with worry on her face, Kakashi saw that as he placed a hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, Naruto is a lot stronger than you think. As Karu finished her hand sign. Solar flame, she said, as flame erupted all around her body, as she condensed the flame and brought it to her palms into a small ball. As she pointed the ball at Naruto, it then released a shower of flames that dashed towards Naruto. It was like a giant waterfall that was coming towards Naruto in waves, as the attack hit and destroyed the wall with great force. As Sakura cried out Naruto's name, thinking that he was dead. Damn it, said Yugito. Why did she have to go and use that? No, he's dead. Hey, why do I even care, she thought. But I wanted to fight with him though. Well, he's gone. It's not like I'm from this village, or I will ever see him again, she said to herself. As the proctor jumped down. The flames, he saw the flames consume Naruto, and the kid wasn't fast enough to move out of the way. As Sarutobi looked down there, as a small tear came from his eye as he wiped it away. Is Naruto really gone? You know, said a voice. Your technique is really slow. As everyone, eyes open wide, as Naruto was standing behind Karu. His back was turned to her back, as Karu was shaking in fear. How was that even possible? She covered the entire opposite side of the arena in flames. How did he get past it? As she tried to spin around, but Naruto backhanded her as she was sent flying as she skipped across the ground and smashed into the wall. Before she could regain her composure or get up, Naruto was already above her as he grabbed her by the hair and started to spin. As he released her as she skipped across the ground again, he appeared behind her before she can hit the wall as he grabbed her by the back of his shirt and flipped her off the ground and slammed her face right into the ground with great force. "Give up yet," he said, as he grabbed her by the hair again and pulled her to eye level. "So, you not giving up?" As she was still conscious, blood was leaking from her mouth and her nose. She brought up her hand as she punched Naruto in the face, but her punch was so weak, her body was exhausted. As Naruto grabbed her hand, as everyone watching horror, as he break it as they could heard the bone snap, as she screamed out in pain and agony, as he grabbed onto her broken hand and threw her right in the air. As he jumped up to meet her, he then delivered a solid roundhouse kick right into her side as they heard her ribs broke. As she was sent flying, as she crashed into the ground, a boom. As dust and debris picked up everywhere, as Naruto landed on the ground gently, as he slowly made his way over to her. The proctor quickly appeared in front of Naruto and held out his hand. "Enough. It is done," he said. As Naruto looked behind the proctor to see, Karu was out unconscious. As the proctor looked at him, wondering how the hell did he survive that attack. As he saw the flames engulf over Naruto, how did he move so fast? Was he really at that speed level? Well, she's not any normal genin either to perform such a high fire-based attack, even though it took a lot of her chakra, Genma thought. "Alright everyone, the winner of the match is Naruto Uzumaki," he said. As Naruto walked off, as he took the opposite side of his stance, where he had to pass Gaara and Yugito instead of taking the other part where he could just meet up with his team at the first part. He took all the way around. As Naruto walked past Temari and Kankuro, but he stopped. As he turned and looked Gaara dead in the eyes, as Gaara looked at him with a smirk on his face. As Naruto got really close, extremely close to Gaara and looking dead in the eyes, as Naruto's eyes turned red, as he got right to Gaara's ears, as Temari and Kankuro were beyond shock. Who could get to their brother so close without him trying to smash them with his sand? But it seems like Naruto wasn't about to do anything because the sand would have pushed him off. As Naruto whispered, "Soon, we will fight, and I will do you much worse, because no one will be there to hold me back or tell me it will be enough. So prepare yourself, Gaara, because you want to prove your existence. You want to prove that you're not a monster, but I'm going to show you I am one," he said. Hearing those words, Gaara felt something he hasn't felt since he was a child. Pure fear. As Naruto's words sent shiver down his spine. It was just something behind that tone and those eyes. As Naruto was looking into Gaara's eyes with the red eyes that were so cold Gaara could feel death behind it. He had experienced death before, and that is what it looked like. The look in this boy's eyes. As Naruto then started to walk away, as Temari and Kankuro were still shocked, as they just looked at their brother and looked at Naruto's back. As Naruto stopped in front of Yugito, as Amoy glared at him, he did his teammate really bad. "So, what do you think?" said Naruto, as Yugito clenched her fist. "Well, I guess you already told me that you wouldn't be holding back. But since she tried to kill you, I won't be holding it against you. Because I can see, you could have killed her anytime you want. But you didn't do anything fatal." "That's right," said Naruto. "But if that is all the power and strength you possess, you cannot win against me," she said. As Naruto smirked, "Well then, We will just have to see about that as he walked past her. As Sakura came up to Naruto, "Good job," she said. "You're up next. Don't screw it up," said Naruto. As Sakura looked up, he was right. It was she versus Ino. As everyone stand and watch this very boring match where the both of them draw in the end. As they were taken to the medics. The next match was Yugito versus Kiba. As she turned and looked at Naruto and smirked, she was going to show him a bit of what she can do. Kiba, hearing that he was going to fight a girl, thinking that he already had this in the bag. As he went down to the arena with Akamaru, as Yugito arrived, the proctor asked him if they are ready, as he then told them to begin after the both of them nod. "You know," said Kiba, "I don't really want to hurt a girl, so you can just give up." Hearing that, Yugito was beyond pissed, as her fingernails extended, as her hair break from the bind, as it started to flash dangerously in the air. "Just because I'm a girl you think you can beat me?" she said to him, as Kiba felt bloodlust wash over him, as he shivered a bit, but he shook it off. "Yeah, you can't beat me," Kiba said, "so you can just go and give up." As Amoy smirked when he heard that. That is one of the things that Yugito hates the most, thinking that just because you're a guy they can beat her. She's not going to show this guy any mercy, he just signed his fate. As Yugito then went on all fours, as her body was stiff up in the air like a cat when it was angry, as she then dashed forward at full speed, giving Kiba no time to react or counter or anything, as Kiba couldn't believe it. She was already behind him as Akamaru turned and jumped at Yugito. She then delivered a spinning kick right into Akamaru's face, as the poor dog was sent flying as he slammed into the wall. "Akamaru!" Kiba shouted. "You bitch!" he said, as he started to become more feral. "Getsuga!" as he spun and tried to slam right into her. She quickly pushed chakra down to her hands, as she then drive both of her hands right into the spinning motion, as Kiba cried out in pain as he stopped spin, as she was digging into his two shoulders as he dropped to the ground. She then slammed her knee right in his face as he was sent flying back. Before he could recover or anything, she was already in front of him as she grabbed him by the shirt as she looked into his eyes. "So now what do you have to say?" as Kiba looked at her with a glare, as she sensed something coming from behind her, as she grabbed Kiba and spun him around and threw him, as Kiba slammed into the incoming Akamaru as the both of them hit the ground a thud. "Proctor," Yugito said, "I think you're finished," as both Kiba and Akamaru were unconscious, with blood leaking from Kiba's shoulders as he was quickly rushed to the medics. As Yugito then calmed herself as her claws receded, as she looked up at Naruto, who had a big smile on his face, as he gave her a nod of acknowledgement, saying yeah, she can do her thing, as she proudly walked back up to the arena. The next match was Gaara versus Lee. This match was the same as Canon, where Gaara won, as Guy entered the arena to stop Gaara from crushing his student. As the other matches went off, Choji faced off against Amoy, which Amoy won. Shino faced off against one of the Rain Ninjas, and Shino won. Shikamaru also faced off against the next Rain Ninja, which he won. And Kankuro faced off against the last Rain Ninja, and he won. So that was the end of the preliminaries. As everyone that won is now standing, waiting to hear who they will fight in the finals. The first match will be Kankuro versus Amoy. The second match will be Shikamaru versus Temari. The third match will be Shino versus Neji. The fourth match will be Naruto versus Yugito. And the fifth match will be Sasuke versus Gaara. So they have 1 month to train and get stronger, and learn new moves so they can surprise their opponent, and with that everyone was off. 2 days later, a lot of things has happened. Kakashi talked to his team, seeing that Sakura didn't make it. He told Naruto that he has to train Sasuke in his Sharingan, so he found a teacher for him. But Naruto walked off, saying that he already has his training under control, as Kakashi wanted to talk to him about it more, but Naruto already went off. And also, Jiraiya, the legendary Toad Sannin, came back to the village, as right now he's in the office of Sarutobi. Huh, so the kid won the match, huh? He said. Yes, said Sarutobi. But the thing is, Kakashi found someone to train him for the month, but he told Kakashi that his training is already under control. So you want me to talk with him? Yeah, but you know you cannot tell him anything yet. Yeah, of course I know that, said Jiraiya. So how are you going to convince him to get to train with you? Are you kidding? Said Jiraiya. You know who I am, right? I am the one and only Toad Sannin, the most badass member of the legendary Sannin. As Sarutobi chuckled when he heard that. What's so funny, old man? Said Jiraiya. Oh, nothing, said Sarutobi. So where is the kid now? Jiraiya asked. That is the thing, I don't know. He's probably somewhere in the village. You should go and find him. Alright, I will. And I'm going to also teach him that jutsu. From what you have told me, the kid is quite strong already. And I'm going to make him sign the Toad contract. It's not like he would turn down something like this, Jiraiya said, as he headed off. Sometime later, Jiraiya giving up on searching for Naruto, as he's been searching all over the village, but he couldn't find the kid. So he decided to do some research instead. And as luck might have it, Naruto was currently at one of the hot springs, as he was soaking in the hot water, relaxing after a hectic training schedule in the Forest of Death. As he found that place to be quite empty and peaceful, it was only used much for the Chunin exams and some Anvu training, but most of the time it was empty, so Naruto could push himself out there and use his abilities at his fullest. And right now he's just relaxing. He then hears something, a heartbeat that is beating extremely fast, as he expanded his senses. As Naruto put on his towel because he had to see what is going on. Why is this heartbeat beating so fast? As he went to the wall to check, as he used Kyuubi's chakra and walked up the wall, as he saw a white-haired man in a tree using binoculars looking over to the girl's side of the hot spring. Hey Kurama, said Naruto. What is it? Kurama asked. You told me that I had a godfather who was supposed to be responsible for watching me. Is that him? As Kurama looked through Naruto's eyes. Yeah, that's him. Jiraiya, the legendary Toad Sannin. But he left you, and I don't know where he has been. As Naruto tightened his fist, as he had some flashes of 6 years ago, before he met Eva or anything, as he was being chased by the people of the village, them hunting him down like a dog. So this was his godfather. You're telling me all this time he was out there, he could have been protecting me, or at least bring me with him, but he left me alone to face off against his villagers by myself. As Naruto's anger started to rise, but he then sighed. I no longer need to feel that way anymore. It's not like I'm on my own anymore, Eva, and you're there for me. Who tell you that I was there for you, said Kurama. As Naruto chuckled. You know, you always act so evil, but inside you're just one big goofy fluffball. What? Kurama said. As Kurama started to curse at Naruto, as he just chuckled. Naruto then walked off, as he got his clothes. As he started to head out of the hot spring, he then heard something behind him, as he slowly turned around to see Jiraiya standing there. He didn't exchange any words with Jiraiya, he just kept on walking, and Jiraiya kept on following him. After a while, Naruto stopped. Do we have a problem? Naruto asked him. Oh no, said Jiraiya, as he then looked at Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki your name is, right? Yes, what is it to you? Act like you don't know, you arrogant bastard, Naruto thought. Well, I've been assigned by the third Hokage himself to help you in your training. Why? Said Naruto. Do you know who I am? Jiraiya asked. Yes, I do. You're Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannins. Ah, then what do you say about my proposal? I can teach you a few jutsu that will help you in the finals. I heard that you passed the preliminaries. Not interested, said Naruto as he walked off. As Jiraiya couldn't believe what he was hearing. You know how much people would kill To get the training from a legendary Sanin? Hey kid, he said as he ran in front of Naruto. I don't think you understand what you're being offered. I do. And I said I'm not interested. What? Why not? Jiraiya asked, as he was getting a bit angry. You think I don't know, said Naruto. Know what? Said Jiraiya. I know who you are. You were supposed to be my godfather. As Jiraiya was taken aback after hearing that. How did he know? As Naruto looked at him with an angry look. All these years, you left me alone in this village. To fend for myself, to suffer. I've been alone. I had almost forgotten about all of those memories. I've been hunted like a dog by these villagers, saying that I'm a demon and all that. But you were out there. You could have been here to protect me. You could have been here. But it doesn't matter now. I can protect myself and I don't need anything from you. Naruto then heard something coming as he turned around, as he was engulfed by a bone-crushing hug. As Jiraiya saw this, blonde-haired girl with red eyes just ran up and hugged him. As Naruto quickly started to hug the person back, as a big smile came on his face, he already knew who it was. As both of them broke the hug, Eva, said Naruto. Naruto, Eva said. I missed you so much, as both of them shared another hug. Just a while ago, she said, and I've got a lot of new things to share with you. Things that I found out on my trip. You got the message I sent you, right? Yeah, I got the message. Did you take care of him? Well, he kind of escaped, but I beat him really bad though. Well, I guess I wasn't here so I didn't see. But I'm gonna give you one more test, she said. But for now, I have a lot of things for you. Come on, let's go. As she then turned. Hey, who is that guy, she said. Were you two talking? No, said Naruto. He's nothing to me. As he walked off, as Eva walked off with him. As Jiraiya lowered his head. As he couldn't understand how did Naruto find out. If he knew that he was supposed to be his godfather, then does that mean he know who his father is? And all that he's been through, hunted down like a dog, as Jiraiya clenched his fist, those villagers. But it was also his fault for not being here for Naruto, as he headed off. Sometime later, Jiraiya arrived at the Hokage's office, as he told him what Naruto said. As Sarutobi was shocked, did Naruto knew who his father was? And he has so much resentment and hate for Jiraiya, as Sarutobi wondered if Naruto hated him as well, because he did not tell him who his father was. And who was this girl you said Sarutobi. Well, she wasn't wearing a headband. She had blonde hair and red eyes. Blonde hair with red eyes? I know almost everyone that interact with Naruto, and that description does not match anything in the Chunin exams. And you said she said that she's missed him. That means they know each other. As Sarutobi then waved his hand as two Anvus appear. Anvus, bring me Uzumaki Naruto, he said. Sometime later, Naruto arrived at the office. As he came through the doors, he saw Jiraiya sitting there, as Naruto glared at Jiraiya and took his seat. So, what is it, old man, he said, completely ignoring Jiraiya. Naruto, Jiraiya told me that he came to talk to you today, and you turned him down. Yes, I did, said Naruto. But, you know, said Sarutobi. Know what? Naruto asked. That he's your godfather. Yeah, I know. So if you know that, do you know who your father is? Yes, Minato, the fourth Hokage. And my mother is Kushina Uzumaki. As Sarutobi looked at Naruto with beyond shock on his face, as he didn't know what to say. Don't worry, Jiji, I don't hate you, said Naruto. At least, you were there for me. But you, Naruto said as he turned to Jiraiya. What are you even doing here? I already turned down your training. What else do you want? You can go back out on the road and do whatever you were doing in the first place. Nothing is here for you. As Jiraiya felt, a small tear came in his eye, but he lowered his head so no one could see it. As Sarutobi didn't know what to say about that, Jiraiya went off to do his spy network. And in that result, he left Naruto in the village. But he couldn't bring him with him. But now Naruto has found out and it seemed like he resent and hate Jiraiya. Naruto, Sarutobi said, clearing his throat. I want to talk to you about a girl. A girl? Said Naruto. Yes, the girl that came back today and hugged you. Who was that girl? Oh, her name is Eva, said Naruto. And is she from this village? Not exactly, said Naruto. But she has been living here for the past 5 years. What? Sarutobi said. Well, she wanted to talk to you anyways, said Naruto, as Eva jumped through the window and landed in the room. Instantly, 4 envoys surrounded her, as all of them had their kunai to her neck, thinking that she's a threat to the Hokage. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm no threat, said Eva. You can put down your weapons. As the envoys looked at Sarutobi, Sarutobi nodded as all of them then disappeared into the shadows again. Young lady, may I ask where you're from? Well, that's a bit complicated, said Eva. I'm not actually from this universe. What do you mean? Said Sarutobi. Well, it's hard to explain. But I guess you're going to understand. You're old and you seem wise. Well, you see, I'm from a place called the capital city. And I travel here. And I found Naruto one night as he was beaten by the villagers, hearing that Jiraiya wince, as he couldn't imagine how much pain and suffering Naruto went through. And from that day, I decided to take Naruto under my wing and train him. As Sarutobi lowered his head. How long was this? He asked. 5 years ago. So, he has been really that distant from Naruto's life that he didn't even know someone was training Naruto for the last 5 years. It could have also been someone evil and influenced Naruto to turn dark, and he would have never noticed. As he looked back up at Naruto, but this girl, as Naruto had a smile on his face, she seemed to be friendly. As Sarutobi then looked at her, I never heard of a place like that. Where exactly is it? That's the thing, said Eva. It's not in this world. What do you mean? Said Jiraiya, speaking for the first time. As she looked at Jiraiya, as she glared at him a bit, as Naruto told her who was Jiraiya, that he was a godfather who should have been watching him and left him all alone for all these years. So right now Eva was pissed at him. But she then looked back at Sarutobi as she answered. You see, Hokage, I'm actually not from this universe. As Sarutobi looked at her confused. What exactly does that mean? He asked her. Well, the thing is, I'm from a universe where magic users are creatures, demons, vampires. And the thing is, I am one. As Sarutobi looked at her with shock on his face. She's from another world? As Jiraiya didn't know what to say either. She's from another world? And she's a vampire? Vampire? What's that? Jiraiya asked as he got over the shock. As Eva looked at Naruto. Should I say it? As Naruto looked at Jiraiya, as he then looked back at Sarutobi. Gigi is going to tell him anyways. Well, go ahead and tell him. Well, basically, said Eva, as her fangs extended as she showed him her fangs. I am a demon that has to feed on blood, and I have turned Naruto into a vampire as well. Hearing that, Sarutobi looked at Naruto and then back at Eva. Wait, he said. Are you saying that Naruto has to feed on blood as well? Yes, exactly, said Naruto as he showed Sarutobi's fangs. As Sarutobi passed out, as Naruto rushed over to him. Gigi, are you okay? Gigi! As he was unconscious. But guys, in the end of this episode right here, if you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications they posted. Remember to share this all with your friends in your social media platform. And also stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new and it's the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join Anime King and Anime King 2 and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, I'm off for now. Peace.